Say hello. Yes, say hi. Say hello. Yes. Say hi. All right. Well, it's been a couple weeks, and this might be a little late, quote unquote, because things just go out of conversational trend so quickly these days, but we are here. I don't know, where should we put you? I don't want to talk this way to you. I went to Coachella weekend too, and I felt the need to talk about it for whatever reason and my experience. So yeah, let's get into it. Get comfy here. We are going to chat about it. Okay, so I got very, very lucky, and I didn't have to pay for anything. It cost me $0, okay? Maybe a little bit of my sanity. I went sober, and I stayed in a house that was across the street. Things were very aligned and very convenient. Got wristband for free through a friend of a friend type of situation. So I'm very blessed that that was my scenario and situation. If I was paying, I don't know if I personally think it would be worth it to pay and go. I just don't. I think it's something to experience at least once for everybody, especially if you've been curious about going. We have somebody having their own Coachella outside my freaking window right now, so hopefully you can hear me. But yeah, I just personally I wouldn't pay for it if I were to go again. Also, you can sneak in really easily, and I probably shouldn't be condoning that, but it didn't seem like security was very tight and it was very controlled, and it didn't seem as big of a festival as it's made to be. First impression though, I was excited, no doubt, and I again feel very grateful to be able to go. I didn't have a terrible time or anything, but I went sober, dead ass sober. And I did go with my partner and a group of people, and I was the only one sober in the group. And let's just say there were things going around, and I kind of wanted to break away in certain points and moments to do my own thing, and I highly recommend that. If you are in a group and you're not vibing with the group, to just go do your own thing and maybe have a meetup spot, or make sure you have your phone on you. But more than anything, just a meetup spot time type of thing to reconnect with them, or if you know that you're gonna end up in the same place at the end of the night, just go do your own thing. One thing that I highly recommend to anyone with any festival, but particularly Coachella, and one thing I did that I think made my entire experience was I didn't see the people that I normally would want to go see. There were a lot of people. One, it's absolutely impossible to see everyone that you want to see. So if you can go 2 weekends in a row, it might be worth it. But you can't, I don't know. I didn't see anyone that I genuinely really, really would have wanted to see normally. I went to things kind of more strategically and curiosity based. So for example, I'm not a huge Charli XCX fan. I of course know her songs, and I don't hate them or anything, but I am not her. I am not Brat, and maybe I am indirectly, but I'm not, in that Brat brigade deep in the hole. I think her music's fine, but I don't actively listen to it or anything. But I just chose to see her set because I just knew if Charli XCX is at the function, you go, and there was somebody else that I would have normally gone to playing at the same time as her, and my group did go to that set, and me and my partner, somehow I convinced him to go to Charlie XCX, and he was like actually concerned we were gonna be late to it. So very cute, very fun. Went, and it was so fun. It to me was like what Coachella should be. I mean, everyone was dancing and partying and like having a good time. Like people were moving and singing and jumping. Like it was the most like packed and energetic that I had seen the crowd at that point. The other one was right before Charlie XCX. This was the second day, and I would say this was personally my favorite day. The second set that I went to, there was somebody else playing like on one of the other stages that I think it was Disco Lines at the same time as T-Pain. And I would normally go see Disco Lines. That's normally the vibe. Again, the group went and saw them, and I kind of was like, I really want to go see T-Pain. And my partner was like down for the ride, and so we went, and it was fun. Like it was fun as fuck. Again, dancing, movement, singing the words. Like it was very Coachella vibes, and it was the first set that I had seen, I think, at that point in my experience with Coachella that like really gave me like Coachella. And then of course Charlie XCX followed up. So I chose those two sets that like I normally would not go to. I also chose to see Lady Gaga, and I would not normally see her, but of course you go and see Lady Gaga if she's in the space that you're in. And it wasn't very like interactive. Like yes, you could sing and kind of dance and bop along, but there was so much going on. I felt like it was more of like not just a musical experience, but like acting, singing, performing, storytelling, all wrapped up into one. And we heard that it was the most anyone had ever spent on production at Coachella, and I'm not surprised because it was very theatrical, very musical type of thing. And yeah, I mean, it was phenomenal, as you could expect, and the dancing was insane. But it was just something I would have more of liked to like sit down and watch, kind of, because it was more, there was so much storytelling involved in it, and it wasn't just like a concert. And whether that was like really the vibe for Coachella, at least in my mind, or not, I don't really know. And that sounds weird to say. Like, of course Lady Gaga is a vibe, and like she is an incredible performer, and I have a newfound respect for her. Like when you witness it live, like it is nuts, it's crazy, and hands down it was phenomenal, and her mic was on. But I just don't personally know if that was like, I don't know, it just didn't really give me Coachella, if you know what I mean. Like it didn't really give me festival vibes. It just was very theatrical. Again, it was phenomenal, but it felt more as like I wanted to sit down and like watch it in a theater versus at Coachella, if that makes sense. So that's kind of my like blind review. Kind Music, everyone was talking shit about how they're so over them, like they're so stereotypical, like that's not real Afro house music. I 10 out of 10 loved it. Was very grateful to have a VIP band, and they had these little couches, and I just went and pretty much sat and like watched and listened. I wish with all of my physical might that I could have like actually danced to it. I'm a big dancer, and I just physically could not at that point. I just was done physically, and I think that was the second day too, I don't know. But yeah, I loved them, and they were like, it was like such good vibes, and I am like very much so an energetic, I want music to make me feel something, you know what I mean? Like I want that type of feeling where you're in the crowd and you get goosebumps and you're like, yes, this is freaking it. Especially being sober, the music should be the escape instead of the substance. And that's kind of what I look for. And I've been to tons, I mean absolutely tons of concerts, festivals, and things like that in my lifetime, and I'm very grateful for that. But I really am looking to be moved on a deeper level from the music, and that tells me that the intentions of somebody are, the artist or whatever, is like deeper than just performative and kind of surface level. And kind music kind of like gave me that, like it put me in the feels big time, and it was just like such good vibes. And I don't care if everyone says they're overrated and whatever. Again, people in the group that I was in didn't go to that because they said they were overrated and whatever. And yeah, they're sick of them and whatever. And I'm like, no, like I'd never seen them before. And I'm really happy I got to see it. I think if I could see them again though, I would be full of energy and able to like dance around and like move my body, because music to me is very cathartic and like healing and somatic. I want it to move through my body and like move me. And at that point, I just physically could not give anymore. Okay. And then the last night, Sunday, I did end up kind of, I don't know if I should be proud of this or not. I did end up wandering away from my group. I reached a point where we were at Big X the Plug, and Big X the Plug was like fun, but the words were really muffled, like in the mic, like the mic was either too close or like the sound was just not working. And again, I'm dead sober, it's day 3, and I want to disclose here also, which I'll dive into this in a minute, that I woke up 2 of the 3 mornings to, let's actually put you here so we can see each other. Oh my gosh, yes. I woke up 2 of the 3 days to work out before going to the festival. So we'll get into that later. And I don't regret it or anything. But yeah, at Big X the Plug, I just like had to get away from the group that I was in. I had just like reached a like, holy fuck, I cannot be around people like doing this shit anymore. I kind of reached a wall, and I just wanted like freedom to just like purely go experience things without that kind of energy around me. And I could have gone about it in a better way, but it was semi me like going and taking a breather, and semi them like, I don't know, we just got connected. It was divinely timed, I guess. And I looked for them a bit and tried to reconnect, but at the end of the night, I knew we would all walk across the street to the house. I wasn't stuck there or anything. And I will say, after having that experience, if you are looking to go to Coachella sober as a woman, it's safe. You're very safe. I didn't get any negative vibes, like there's information centers if you had a problem. There was a couple of people that did check on me, like while they saw me sitting or kind of being by myself. There was a couple of other people that like stopped and asked me for directions because they were a little turned around and stuff. And then we're like, are you good? Like, where's your group? Like, are you okay? And the mutual kind of connection, which was really cool. But I will say, like, relatively speaking, like, if you don't have friends to go with, just go. And you have the capacity to do it, like, just do it. It was, I mean, my experience, it was very, very safe. Mind you, my experience was not entirely, like, normal, because I did have some backstage wristbands, I did have VIP, but I was walking around the general festival alone. And I am a small female, and I never had any problems. Mind you though, I was sober, so I didn't get turned around or anything. I knew where the festival layout, like I knew the festival layout by day 3 enough. I did grab a map at one point from one of the info centers just to kind of see the set times, because on day 3, I also did not bring my phone with me. Because I just planned on being with my partner the whole time and whatever. Now, was that the best situation ever? No, probably not. But I think it ended up working out really well for me personally. We had somebody in our group that was so graciously able to get us backstage wristbands to the Yuma tent. Please go to the frickin' Yuma. Go to the Yuma, okay? Even if you're not into electronic music, go. This was my favorite stage, not because I was back there, but vibes. Vibe City. The goosebumps that I was talking about, the music kind of like entering your body and like transcending this human experience. That's the vibes that I got every time I was in there. We saw Chris Dusty in there with the group, and that was really fun. Saw some other person in there, don't really know who they were. But Sunday, when I kind of got separated from my group, I ended up going backstage by myself there, figuring like, oh, like we have these wristbands, we haven't been to this stage yet, I'm sure I'll run into everybody here. I didn't, but it's okay. And I went in and I walked into this set that I, again, never would have gone to. And it's my favorite one, which is ironic because I was alone. But walked in and it was like an infusion of dance music and cultural sort of influences. And I had no idea who this person was. There was bongo players, there was dancers. It was freaking amazing. Like, it made me feel something, which I'm looking for, like if I'm going to these types of events and music. Like, those are the things that stand out to me when I'm going to a large festival where there's a bunch of different artists and stuff. So I'm going and I'm vibing and I'm just dancing, okay? A bunch of random people that I don't freaking know, but it didn't feel like that. And that's what I really, really look for, is like just this sense of symbiosis where we're like all kind of one. And it doesn't matter if I'm alone, because I'm really not. You know what I'm saying? And I later found out it's Francis Mercier, I think is who it was. Again, didn't even know who it was, like didn't even know what I was listening to, but it lit me up and it was literally the best experience I had and I loved it. I saw Post Malone after that alone, / hoping to run into some of the people I came with, and the whole thing was countrified. Just FYI, some people were mad about that, but it's like, it makes sense because that's the genre he's kind of developed into. It was cool. Again, I never would have elected to go see him. It was cool. I do like country. He brought out Jelly Roll, Ed Sheeran. I feel like he brought out someone else. I ended up sitting in the back of the VIP like grass area, all the way in the back, and like laying down for this because I was just so exhausted this day and this night. I think he was on at like 10 something, but I ended up walking over there at 10:45 or something like that. And I could still see the stage from laying down and stuff, and no one bothered me. Like, I was totally safe, totally fine. But it wasn't like, I don't know, it didn't really give me Coachella. You know what I'm saying? Like, it didn't really, he was very kind, very caring. You could tell and you could feel that, like he cared about the crowd and stuff. I don't know, it just didn't really, like, if I'm being 1000% honest, it didn't give the way that I thought it would give, if that makes sense. I got kind of bored. And that's when I was like, well, I remember my group was saying Mal P is a special guest over at the Do Lab. And so I went over there alone looking for them, and Mal P was there. And I missed Mal P's earlier planned set in the weekend, so I was kind of happy. And I was looking for who I was kind of with while enjoying the music. And I was able to get all the way up to the very, very front, which I was very surprised about. There was space. There wasn't everyone packed together like sardines against the stage. Like, if you really wanted to be all the way up front, you could get up there easily. It wasn't just because I was a girl. You know, as long as you kind of danced your way through and kind of said excuse me to people and were kind, like, there was more than enough wiggle room to get up there, and I did, and that was a good experience to have. Very fun, very your typical like rave situation, more of like what I have experienced before. Nothing really special, but like, I just found it interesting that if you really wanted to get all the way up to the front, like, you could definitely maneuver your way there without a problem. And people were nice about it. There was no fighting, no arguing, no like rudeness at all. that I observed, and people were generally kind of nice. One thing that I think you should know if you're planning on going that people don't tell you and no one told me was the last night after the last sets, everyone is herding out of there like cows. Like everyone is exiting all at once, which you don't experience any of the other days. I don't know why, but yeah, so it took a little bit to get out of there. I made it back to the house and back to my group safely, but I did really value I know that sounds so weird to some people, but I really did value my little side quest because I got to experience what I wanted to experience without the influence of like things and dynamics that were going on in the group. It might sound sort of dumb to other people, but I think a lot of the times we just get big groups together of this person and this person who might know this person, you know, and whatever, and you just go. But I wouldn't recommend that. I would be highly intentional about who you go with and make sure you guys are on the same page and the same vibe, and that you like have been to things with them before and feel comfortable in their presence and respect each other and your differences. And if you do want to go see something outside of your group, go do it. Like, do not just stay with your group. And I know that other people have said otherwise, and that's fine, but in my personal experience, if you're coming from wherever you're coming from, even if it's in the same state, and you're doing this freaking marathon, which it really is, go see who you want to see. And also, don't necessarily like plan it. Like, go check out people that you normally wouldn't have the opportunity to see, who normally don't come to your area, you normally wouldn't go to, because you might be a little surprised. And I think that that's really how you should approach Coachella versus like trying to see who you would see normally. Biggest freaking point of this experience is to really let go of this expectation of what you think it's going to be like, or how you think it's going to be, or whatever. At the end of the day, it's a music festival just like any other music festival, and there's going to be pros and cons to it. And just try to keep an open mind. If you're really trying to control every step of the process, you're gonna have a really shitty time. It does get a little windy at night sometimes. Some nights were warmer than others. The first night was the coldest night, and we ended up buying merch. We bought a hoodie, and I just like styled it. Maybe I can put a picture here and show you. I just like styled it with my outfit so that I was still cute and also warm. And that brings me to the outfits. Okay, I know that everyone likes to put like excess potential and emphasis on like outfits for Coachella, but after going, and I stressed about it, okay? And then I so graciously had, went shopping and like couldn't really find anything, and I ended up going. I spent $14 total. I ended up taking things out of my closet that I already had, and I went to a thrift, and I just got like a couple belts, and I got like a little, it's supposed to be a tunic top, but I wore it as a dress. I wore boots that I already thrifted that were flat soled. I wore tennis shoes, like my gym shoes, the second day, that kind of went with my outfit. It was a little more sporty. And then the last day I wore like hunter rain boots, throwback festival boots essentially, and my feet were fine. I didn't get any blisters. I didn't have any foot pain or anything like that, but I also wasn't wearing crazy heels, because you do, once you're in the festival grounds, this is another thing people don't really talk about, you do have like a good 30 to 45 minute walk every day into the actual festival. And then once you're in there, you have additional walking from stage to stage to stage to stage to stage. And on top of that, if you're like me and you love to freaking dance, you're dancing. So you don't need insoles or like the band-aids or like all this crazy stuff that people were talking about on TikTok, but you do need good shoes with a good insole. And if they don't have a good insole, maybe go get an insert. But yeah, I mean, I didn't do anything special. I just wore good shoes, regular socks, and that was about it. And I did kind of like pace my energy reserves. So I didn't go in there and right off the bat just like jump around. If I was really excited about something, I obviously let myself dance and like have fun. I did kind of sit down and take some breathers. So don't overthink the outfits. You're gonna be happier with comfortability, and don't worry about looking like everyone else is looking. I would say, like, to be honest, when I went, nobody's outfits were really like that crazy. Again, I went the second weekend. Sure, there was cute outfits, but one thing I did notice was everyone looked the same. Like, everyone was pretty much dressed exactly the same. And personally, like, if you want to blend in, sure, but like, personally, do your own thing and prioritize like comfort and your own unique expression, and don't worry too much about the outfit, because it's really like you and your energy that actually makes a fit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I wouldn't worry too much, because we like literally pedestal the outfits for Coachella. It's not that serious. And I know we see the influencers wearing this and this and this and all that stuff. I guarantee you they don't stay there very long looking like that. And I guarantee you they don't stay in that if they do stay. Because, yeah, there's no way. There's no way. There's just not. And they're either not really going to the festival and they're just doing kind of like outfit checks, outfit checks. And they're just doing it for social media, which I think a lot of people have already said, but I'm going to repeat it here. So don't worry about what's going on TikTok or Instagram and what other people are doing. Like, have fun. Like, it's a creative space to have fun and kind of dress outside of the box of normal society and do your own thing. You don't need to spend, I've seen as high as $1,400 spent on outfits. Don't do that. It's really not worth it. It's just not. If you're gonna wear something again and again and again, sure, but like, there's absolutely no need to spend money like that. Men thrifting, I love thrifting. Maybe we'll go thrifting together sometime soon, but I recommend thrifting. I recommend Facebook Marketplace. I recommend Depop. And then I scanned my closet and saw that I already had things that were like kind of like what I was really wanting to do, and I just went and thrifted some accessories. So I got some scarves and I got some belts. I already had boots that I had thrifted that like I really didn't care about getting dirty or dusty, and stuff like that. Skin wise, I use my normal skincare, but because it's dry out there, I freaking used Lancome Toner Comfort. I think that's what it's called. It's pink, it's milky. This lathered this onto my face and let it just absorb, because we at the house, we do have a pool, and so I was out in the sun most of the day prior to going into the festival. And if you're camping, you definitely want something like really hydrating. So I used, and it has squalene and hyaluronic acid, so really any toner that has those two things in it. I think it had rose in it too, but I just lathered my face in that and let it soak in. And then I used my all-nighter Urban Decay spray on my makeup. I didn't do lots of heavy makeup. I just kind of did something really basic like this, because you're either gonna have sunglasses on or accessories on. I wouldn't worry too much about the makeup piece, to be honest, because it's gonna be on your face for hours, one, and two, it gets dark, no one's really gonna see it. Three, you're most of the time gonna have sunglasses on. So I would really just like focus on your outfit and accessorizing it. My hair, like, I just wanted to do easy but like cute. Coming back a different day, but the first day, my hair, I just put up in a little claw clip. I'll have to put a picture. The second day, I just left it pretty much and like fixed a few pieces, and I actually wore this the second day. And then I just did like a scarf over my head, and later that night when I changed into warmer clothes, I just put like full on look style, put the scarf over my head with a hat, like a trucker hat over the top. And then the third day, I literally just kept my hair the way that it was and did like I mentioned before, like little butterfly clips. I'll have to put a picture. I'll always put a picture here. See this. So I kept the hair really simply. Food. I did eat once there from this burger place, but we got 2 burgers. I'm gluten-free. I'm allergic to gluten. Dairy-free, allergic to dairy. I was surprised that they didn't have more options for me. I will say that, like, I thought they would be more, like, friendly. And they didn't even have, like, lettuce. They didn't do a lettuce wrap, and, like, they still charged us full price for the burger, and then it was $70 for 2 burgers. So it was nothing special, but it was good. Most of the time I ate like I stuck to like my very healthy kind of natural diet. I ate like regular meals and stuff at the house. Like I said, the second day we went back and like we had like grilled chicken breast, hot honey chicken breast, like earlier in the afternoon, and ate that before we went, and we came home to just change into like warmer, comfier clothes second day and eat. And we ended up eating some of the like chicken and avocado, and I remember like having granola and like yogurt bowl or something, or banana, and then we walked back over and like I was fine. So I didn't go like crazy, and I think that like really helped me. I mean, I dance, like, and when I say I dance, like that's why I go, like I love it. I want the music to move through my body, like, but what else is the point? And if that's not your thing, like that's cool too. But like if you want to go and like dance and like vibe and like get down and have fun, right? Yeah, it was just the walking combined with like the dancing was a lot. So, and like the weird, like, one, I had a time change, so if you have a time change, this is something to consider. And I had a time change, and like the late nights and kind of like sleep disturbances and stuff like that. I just made sure to have like really grounding, healthy meals, because I swear it made the difference for me. Like I did not get sick afterwards. I felt great the entire time. I did sit down a couple of times, like, and pace myself and took some breaks. But really for the most part, I was like up, dancing, running around, happy, energetic, without anything, completely sober. And I'm not somebody that like has tons of energy naturally or anything. I truly do believe it was because that like I took care of myself and my body and didn't just like go full trash can mode. So yeah, there was 2 days that me and my partner did wake up and we did go to the gym. I don't regret it. I think come the third day, the third day we didn't work out, so I could say like maybe it's because I didn't go work out that morning or something to like warm up my body. And when I say workout, we weren't doing anything crazy. We were maybe in there for 30-35 minutes max. It didn't do any crazy cardio, just kind of did like a little weight circuit. He did some weights, nothing, again, not lifting super heavy or our max, but just doing a little bit just to like keep the body flexible and stuff. I did do a little like yoga series after some weights one day and just like really stretched out, and yeah, and then we would walk back to the house because the gym that we had was up. Definitely not the kind of special chocolates everyone else was eating, okay, but I found these and I loved them. I did this, and I got a high vibe one too, and I would eat 2 of the high vibe ones and 3 of these on my way into the festival. And basically they are just like natural chocolates with a bunch of herbs in them, meant to like kind of mimic the effects of like other things, if you know what I mean. And I know you might be saying like, why don't you just do the things? And it's because I don't want to. And I swear I also didn't eat this on the 3rd day, so maybe it's placebo, but like maybe that influenced. But I'll put the ingredients up there too, hopefully you can see them. But yeah, I found this and loved it. It actually tastes so good, and while everyone else was doing their stuff, like I had my own little thing, so I didn't feel like weird or left out. I feel like that stuff at festivals and Coachella is very hear me out. I think it's more of like a real ritualistic thing that like bonds people. Like, hey, we're all doing this thing together, like, and we're all doing this substance together, or this substance. And so it's like this ritualistic thing. So, I mean, this was my ritual. Why not, right? Like, that's how I kind of view it. I should market for them. Which just sounds weird, but like when you're around a bunch of people doing stuff and you want to maintain your own sense of like stuff, I feel like you kind of have to have like a buffer. So this was mine, and they really did give me energy, and not in like a cracked out like energy drink caffeine type of way, because I don't even drink caffeine really at that time. So I did do that, but other than that, I eat. I know that sometimes when we're squeezing into teeny tiny little outfits, or like outfits that show our stomach, we want to have them look as flat as possible or whatever, or you're not prioritizing eating when you're going to the festival. I've seen tons of posts about that. Please eat, like please, like your body, most importantly, like at the end of this, like if you want to enjoy yourself and you really want to like be able to have the best time possible, please take care of your physical being. Really highly recommend, which people might be like, duh, no brainer, but I didn't see enough people wearing it, was earplugs. They did sell them there. I don't know if they were expensive or not. I think I saw a pair for $20, which isn't bad. Earplugs. Please bring earplugs, because my ears were fried after this, and I've been to like thousands of million things and have been fine, but plugs, bring earplugs. I didn't see anyone arguing or fighting or being rude or having bad vibes or bad energy or anything like that, but I did just kind of notice that like people kind of stuck to their groups, or whoever they were with, or themselves. They didn't really, I don't know, there wasn't a lot of like, I didn't really meet a lot of different people or other people. I enjoy that aspect of going to festivals. I mean, I didn't go completely out of my way to like meet new people or anything, but I think it happens pretty naturally with other festivals I've been at, where people have just been like super friendly, and you know, like everyone is kind of like, you know, congregating and, you know, relating, and it's more of like a community based thing, especially more like EDM based festivals and things like that. This definitely did not give that kind of a vibe, and it wasn't bad, but yeah, people definitely just were not really relating outside of the people in their group or their groups or their little space. And if you've had a different experience before, let me know. Maybe it's just the weekend I went, maybe it's just the year that I went, whatever. But yeah, I just feel like that was something I definitely saw heavily in contrast to other festivals and things I've been to, and was a little surprised by it. It was a good experience to have. The post Coachella blues is definitely real. I still, after a couple of weeks now, like wish that I was there now and want to go back. But while you're there, I do think you are going to at least question once, like, what the fuck was I doing when I came to this and agreed to come? Because it just is a lot. So the sun was going down, so we're back for a little outro, but thanks for watching. That was kind of my experience with that, and yeah, we'll see you next time.